Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. How's the thing going? The preview, okay, it's looking good now. The preview looked like it was stuck for a second. I'm like, I don't know. So anyway, welcome back to Switch to Linux. We're going to be talking today about a little bit of digital minimizing. And we're going to kind of pretty much walk through a video that I found this week. We're going to watch a few little clips of that as we discuss this. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump on into some comments. So, Richard Addison, I am the Locutus of Borg, and I like digital minimalism. Excessive purchasing is futile. You will be decluttered. That is right. Only fools buy a lot. This is true. I'm a minimalist in general. Clutter around me distracts me from thinking and enjoying what's important. That's true. Like, if I'm not getting as much work done productively, it either means my desk is a mess or my desktop is a mess. And I work off of my desktop on the computer. And so, you know, taking time once a week or once every other week and cleaning off the desk or the desktop really helps to keep me in line. So yeah, clutter, no, there's some people that work well with clutter too. May as well mention that. Keep everything around me minimal, just what I need, no more, no less. Constantly in a mess most of the time, but that's not good, much of a consumerism thing. More a good intentions laid to waste. But is it bad for well-being? Yeah, I mean, this is kind of an argument. Like, I've known people who thrive in a disorganized mess. Like our old department chair when I was in college and undergrad. That guy's office looked like a tornado had exploded. But he knew exactly where everything was. It was quite incredible that a man could have so much crap in such a disorganized and cluttered mess and not lose anything. But for most people, organization actually helps. And it is a lot lower. It lowers the stress to know that there's a lot less stuff around you. And I'm finding as I've been cutting more and more stuff down, as I have less papers, I have less stuff laying around, it's a lot nicer of a life. Now, this room that you see where I'm recording this in, this is actually the only room in the house that actually looks like somebody lives here. It's kind of funny because there's not a lot else anywhere else. A lot of what's in here is, you know, the academic geeky books, and then I have the carpets on the wall that are mostly actually are only up for soundproofing. Let's see. Being organized is important. I'm a mix of organized and very chaotic. Interestingly, that balance shifts in part of my state of mind, so my environment also indicates my state of mind as well as affects it. Yes. I like a clean floor, and I hate a cluttered desk. Yes, very good, very good. The term digital minimalism is interesting. With physical stuff, you can't ignore the mess, but with a hard drive, you can just buy larger capacity, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I switched business VoIP phone providers recently, so only my cell sits on the table and eliminates a big clunky desk phone. Very good, very good. So easy to ignore the mess. Okay, these smart devices make my head spin, so I tend not to use them anymore. Yeah. Usually screw something up and give enough time. That's why I don't like smart anything, apart from smart on my hard drive, so I can, but that can be useful. Of course, that's the diagnostics tool that you can tell if the hard drive is about to fail from the smart diagnostics. So digital clutter is worse. It's insidious in the way you don't notice it for years before long, and you have numerous online accounts with personal information online you never use. Saves a ton of time on HDD diagnostics. Okay, a large pile of hard drives with multiple backups, various points in time. It's a right mess. Yeah, and some of that's not quite as bad, but we'll talk about how you can kind of keep on top of even that. Gives me instant read of HDD overall health. Yep, okay. Only issue with smart on hard drives is when it logs errors due to bad cable connections, and then you can't reset the errors. Huh. Still work on modern machines. Not used it for a very long time. I'm not sure. OCD with the connections. Have you tried HD Tune? That's a good bit of software to have on Windows anyway. I've never heard of HD Tune. Really good timing. Linux, the historian, really great timing. Trying to start minimalism in my life a little. I could focus on God's word and focus on what God wants me to do with my channel. Absolutely. That is awesome. And that's really, for me, the dive into minimalism was a look at that as you have more stuff, be it digital or be it in our physical life, more stuff clutters us. It wears us down. It bogs us down. It distracts us. And what we need to do is figure out what our focus should be and work on that. And I'm not nearly as far in my digital minimalism as I want to be. I'm moving along in a good direction, in a good way. And in reality, I have more work to do, but at the same token, I'm slowly getting there. I also have multiple different business things I'm doing, and so I only have a couple hours a week to devote to it. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. All right, I'm just going to scan through some of these guys. Just kind of seeing if there's anything here I want to respond to really quick. If there's something you really, really want me to respond to, put my name in there so I'll see it quicker. And hello to everybody if I'm missing your names. RAM price is still crazy? Haven't checked in a while. They probably are, but Mark, if you need some DDR3, I still have 32 gigs of DDR3 HyperX RAM for sale. Hoping they've come down a bit. First thing would consider I'm on tonight. Hey, yes, Analog, you are on time today. Is analog minimalism when you throw away your old LPs and cassette tapes? I think so, but I still have my box of cassette tapes. I'm trying to find the spot in my heart to throw them away. I'm trying. I haven't yet, but I'm trying. The kitty has arrived. Meow. Hey, pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza. Okay. I had to refresh to see the kitty. Yeah, the kitty seemed to be frozen there for a little bit. He got cold. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Tom, the format you're using isn't working on the web browser. What do you mean the format's not working on the web browser? Clarify, please. Hello, Keegan. Do you know how to fix BIOS issues? It depends on what type of BIOS issue it is. Shoot some questions in there, and if I don't get to it, somebody can. I know, by the way, MSI boards are a pain. Is your name Tom or Mark? My name is Tom. My neighbor calls me Mark, though, too. Are you my neighbor? What chat is that? It is, it's just the Google chat. I've just dropped some custom CSS in there. Tried update the file, updating exe. Whoa, oh boy, where are we going? Okay. Update without an operating system, putting Windows 10. Had a bucket of hard drives like you mentioned earlier about myself. A free NAS machine, never look back. Great way to go. Why does the chat look so ugly? I adjusted it. Yeah, I'm not sure I necessarily like it. Definitely give me some feedback. I can adjust it for sure. I think people don't care about privacy now. Correct. That is my biggest concern. And actually that's one of the things we're going to talk about today, because there's some things I disagreed with in this video we're going to talk about, but there's a lot of things I really liked. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording, and I'm going to go ahead and rerun the intro screen, and we're going to dive in, and I might come back to the comments partway through, but we might just come back to the comments at the very end. So let's go ahead and dive on in here. Where's my transition button? There we go. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we are going to have a quick look at digital minimalism. So what we want to look at here is, I've talked on this channel in the past. In fact, I have an entire playlist on minimalism, which I cover digital, physical, a variety of different things. And minimalism means different things to different people. There's different ways to do it. We're going to have a look at a video here that I love the way he did it. I love a lot of what he does, except for the fact that he's using all closed source software. He does a couple of things that I would advise against, but I love what he did overall. And this is a great starting point, and it's a great video overall. What we're going to look at here is one person's approach. And remember, this is one person's approach. And I'm going to tell you what my approach is. So hopefully a few different approaches will help you figure out what you want to do with digital minimalism. So the video we are going to have a look at here, it is called Digital Minimalism, How to Simplify Your Online Life. And this is from Craig Adams. And I don't know much about this guy other than he is a photographer. He does video portfolios for weddings, things like that. And he's also a minimalist. And so that's kind of how I found his channel, is that there's a lot of minimalism things on there. I'm seeing that background might be a little distracting. Let me, since we're going to be in that for a little bit, so let me find a background that's less distracting. There we go. That's a better. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look through a few different clips. So the first clip is about a 20-second part where he's defining minimalism, and I absolutely love his definition. Have a listen to this.
I want to start off by saying that I don't think minimalism is just about owning less things. It's about finding out what you value and then working hard to just focus on those things and then cut away all the fat and distractions that are keeping you from that focus.
Okay, so that's what he says, defining minimalism. And that's the thing, because a lot of people think minimalism means I'm just throwing away everything. And that's not what minimalism means. What minimalism means is it means that you are evaluating what is important and you're getting rid of the stuff that's not important. For some people, having tons and tons and tons and tons of books is important. For others, we don't want a lot of those laying around. And so we have a lot of this discussion back and forth about what is important and what is not important in the various things that we're looking at here. And so I wanted to start with his definition of minimalism because it was such a good definition. I love what he said about that. And so what he's focusing on here is digital minimalism. Now, he uses exclusively Apple and Google services for his digital minimalism. That's the part where I start saying, I don't like that option. And A, I don't like the option because of the data tracking. B, I don't like the option because you're putting your stuff on other people's servers. And three, I don't like the option because it is very possible that you may either violate or perceive to violate some terms and conditions somewhere, and then just go, and your entire digital life has vanished. Do not put yourself in that position. Do not rely on these big companies for storing your data. And it doesn't have to do with the fact that it's Google or it's Apple. It has to do with the fact that you don't control that. You don't own that. All right. And so what we're going to look at there is we're going to next have a look at what he does with his phones. So we have here about a 30-second clip here on how he backs up his smartphone.
Thing that's main is the iOS files. So 33 gigabytes. What is that? So that is actually my 64 gigabyte iPhone backed up to my computer. And you might be wondering, why don't you back up in the cloud? I don't do that because if I did that, I would have to pay for it. I am using iCloud, but just enough to get away without paying. I have 5 gigabytes for free, and I'm mainly using that for just cloud email.
Okay, so that's a great thing about his approach. If you're a low budget and you don't have the ability to set up your own third-party systems, this is a decent thing to do in that what he's talking about here is he manages to do most of all of his stuff without having to pay for it because he keeps a very intentional eye on the different things. And that's one of the things about minimalism. Be intentional. Being intentional is key. He intentionally keeps an eye on how much he has available with each service and then utilizes the services in different ways. So what he's doing is he says in here, and we're going to play the clip, but what he ends up going on to say here is he says that he uses the iCloud backup just for his mail backup and a few miscellaneous documents. He ends up doing everything else on his computer, and then the computer backs up everything to Google Drive. We will have a look at that. So with that being said, what do I do? Because of course I'm running a Nexus 5 currently I'm running Lineage. I had Copperhead on it. And I love the Copperhead build. It's more secure than Lineage. There were just a few things that Lineage did that I had to have my phone doing that Copperhead didn't. And I have a video about that. But what you can do with this, whether you're running Copperhead, whether you're running your own stock Google or Lineage or whatever else, you can replace the bootloader on most devices with TWRP. TWRP, and that's an acronym for something, I forget what it is. And what TWRP is a custom bootloader, and the cool thing about it is you can go in there and you can push backup. It's going to create a backup file. Then I take this item, I plug it into the computer, and I can pull that one folder off and store it in an archive. Now, when I decided that I wanted to go back to Lineage from Copperhead, all I had to do is move that file back onto the device, push the restore button, and in 5 minutes my phone was exactly every app, every file, every picture, every setting what it was before I wiped it to put Copperhead on it. So creating those backups, and that's essentially what he's doing. Now he's using an iPhone, he's using a Mac, so he's using iTunes, so he's doing all of that kind of stuff. And what I'm doing is different in that everything of my phone is disconnected. I'm not relying on anybody's service for that. As long as I have a copy of TWRP that'll go in the system compatible with the backup file that I have, and those two things, the copy of TWRP that I need and the file, is sitting right next to each other in my backup archive. So that's kind of what we're doing the same, we just use it a different way. I'm doing it with TWRP, copying the files, he's doing it with iTunes. Either ones those are good. As far as syncing you can do your mail, you can do your calendars, you can do your contacts, you can do your pictures, all of that kind of stuff. Every bit of that you can do on a custom Nextcloud build. And I have some videos about how to do Nextcloud. But what you can do with your Nextcloud build is you can sync all of that kind of stuff up, and you don't even have to get in there and my train of thought has derailed. My apologies. With Nextcloud, you can sync everything up, and it's not owned by anybody else. That's where I was getting at. You control that install. You're buying a server space, and we'll talk about why you'd want to do that rather than using Google services or Apple services that are already set up for you here in a little bit. But utilizing all those, you can keep everything that's important, your photos, your files, things like that, syncing directly between your phone and your own personal private Nextcloud build. And then what I end up doing is my phone has a very minimal amount of files. I do not keep a lot of stuff on here. If I go out and take fabulous pictures, I pull those pictures off of the device before long. And so that's kind of what I'm doing as far as that is concerned. So let's go ahead and have a look at his next function. This is kind of how he manages his computer stuff, I think.
As I'm using Google Drive. So you can see Google Drive running as an app up here, but its folder is local on my computer and in the cloud and on my PC because I have selective sync. So actually, this is everything that is in the cloud, and it's just synced onto my computer. You can pick exactly what you want to sync to the computer, which for me is everything, and it's assets.
All right. So there he's talking about utilizing the Google Drive to auto-sync everything with his computer. I will point out that Nextcloud has the exact same function. Now, if you happen to have a system that is based on GNOME, like GNOME, Cinnamon, Budgie, any of those types of things, then you can actually come up into your settings, and if you go into your settings, you have a feature here called Online Accounts, and you can actually attach your Nextcloud account. It should be on there. I think you can probably use the OwnCloud, but you can connect to Nextcloud. I know I do it on my other system. I'm not sure why Nextcloud's not showing up right here. But you can connect your Nextcloud account to this system. And what that will do is that will give you an individual file when right exactly where you need that file. Like I said, my production web design computer, I do that. You also have the ability to download a client for Nextcloud, which works with Mac, it works with Windows, it works with Linux, and then you can auto set certain folders, all folders, you know, whatever folders to automatically sync with your cloud. So you always have the exact same functionality he's doing here. You just are doing it without relying on Google services or Apple services. You're doing it on a Nextcloud build. So I'll just point out that we're essentially doing that the same way. It's just that Nextcloud does it on your own personal private server without having to rely on Google services at all. All right, so here he's actually going to say something that is incorrect, so I want to play this part.
And then Gmail's not using anything because we all have to have a Gmail account pretty much if you want a YouTube channel or Google Drive or Google Photos.
Okay, we're going to stop there. You do not have to have a Gmail account. I do not own any Gmail accounts. I have a couple of YouTube accounts. I have Google services attached to several of my other businesses. I do not own a single Gmail account. Okay, you can attach any email address as your account to sync to a Google account. You do not have to have Gmail. In fact, I generally advise against having the Gmail account unless you absolutely need to. And we're going to get a little bit more into email earlier. But just to be aware, you do not have to have this. And the reality is I am not a big fan of all these cloud email servers showing up all over the place. I use them minimally. Like I said, I don't have any Gmails. I have a Proton Mail account that gets used for testing. I have a couple Hotmail accounts for junk spam stuff, but everything else is my own self-hosted email, which is certainly a better option. We'll talk a little bit more about email at the last section here. Next, I love this part. This is something I've not done that I would like to do. And he's going to talk here about cleaning up bookmarks, minimizing your screen, and things like that.
Every tab I open, it brings me to this favorites. So I've handpicked these websites because I use them the most. Like 90% of the time, I'm just going to pick one of these. So it's really quick to go to my frequently used websites. And look at the top. You'll notice that there's just like absolutely nothing at the top. I don't need any buttons or anything. And
stop there. So you can just kind of see what he's doing here is he's cleaning his things up. He runs all of his apps in full screen mode on a Mac. He handpicks all of his bookmarks. You know, his bookmarks tab isn't this unorganized, crazy, cluttered mess of everything he ever thought was cool on the internet. He keeps it very clean, very minimal, very, very nice and tight. That's something I would like to do that I don't. In reality, I do that with my toolbars are very clean and neat. Bookmarks on my web design computer, the old Windows one I've had around for 10 years, yeah, that bookmark collection is kind of a hot and happy mess. So that's kind of the case with that. But that's kind of what he does there with those parts. Now he does a whole section here which is much more relevant to just how he does his business with his video production stuff. So we're going to skip over that because it doesn't apply to most people. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop back down to, I'm trying to get to 42. There we go. What he's going to say here, this is kind of where I kind of part ways and I advise maybe back off just a little on this. Come up with a slightly different strategy and I'll tell you what I do.
Where do I upload that? I upload that to YouTube. So I've got 441 videos here. On your end, you're not going to see all of those videos because a lot of these, just like these podcast videos, are archives. They're private, they're unlisted, they're not public. They're just for me to keep here in case I ever want to just download it or use it or make it public or do whatever I want. I think YouTube is a great place to store your video archives because you can just download it in pretty good quality from MP4 right here. It's compressed. Or if you want, you can download with, I think, Google Takeout, all of your original files that were uploaded to the Google servers.
Okay, so what he's saying there is the only thing he's doing to use to store his videos, every one of his videos is only on his YouTube account. That is horribly, horribly dangerous. All right, fuzzy snake. Horribly, horribly dangerous, because if YouTube's fickle. YouTube is a business. YouTube might be sold. YouTube might close down. And if that's the case, you don't want to get into the situation where now you're in a scramble to download everything you've ever put up there. And in some cases, you couldn't. I mean, how many terabytes of data do I have? Well, I have an approximate estimation because I have the vast majority of those things all saved. This is dangerous. This is the part I would recommend do not do, okay? A spare hard drive is $50. Get a spare hard drive. Now, this is an internal one. You can get an internal hard drive and get an internal enclosure, or it's about the same price. Just pick up one of these guys. This is a 2 terabyte drive. This will store all my videos for about 3 or 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. Depending. So, and that cost me $60. So it's good to keep these around, and that's kind of where we kind of start to differ. Let's just go ahead and talk about this a little bit here before we dive into a lot of other things. Spend a little bit of time on this part. So as far as your files are concerned, what you want to do in this case is you want to have a few of these. And what I would probably do is pick up, if you can, save up a little bit for it, pick up 4 of these, 2 to 4. The reason why is depending on what you're doing. So for me, I'm doing a lot of video stuff. That's why I want 4, okay? So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have one of these, which is a backup archive of all my videos. And actually, I'm going to have 2 of those in production, okay? And then I'm going to have another hard drive, which is effectively my, this is effectively my backup computer, which contains all of my files, which contains personal files, sensitive files, everything, every part of my digital life ever, cleanly organized in its own operating system. Currently, I'm running Linux Mint Mate, and it is on an encrypted drive. This contains tax files, it contains photos, it contains music, it contains everything. And then I have another one of these, which is used for my NAS. My NAS contains all my media files, so any video, any audio, any photos, all that kind of stuff. And any transitional files, any files I'm currently working on is all on my private NAS. My NAS is set up so if I get one of these external hard drives, I plug it in, it makes an immediate mirror of this drive. And then what you want is you want 2 of these. Like I said, you have 2 for each backup instance you have. Your backup instance goes to a safety deposit box at a bank or a friend's house, somewhere else where they're not at yours, an off-site secure location that you trust. And then what you do is once a month, you have your other one, which is a local backup. You make all your backups, sync your files, make a day of it, and then you go out to your safety deposit box or your friend's house and you swap the old ones for the new ones. And that way you always have a month worth of archives local and a month worth of archives off-site. That is how you manage everything without having to rely on a big company. Is this slightly more work and slightly more stuff? Yes, but this is worth the possible risk of losing everything because Google has lost their mind. That's why it's important. But you want to have a couple of those in production so that you have one local, you have one off-site, and you're rotating them about once a month or every other month. It depends on how frequently you're changing things. Once a quarter at least, because if something bad goes on, that's kind of tragic. But if something bad goes on and you've only lost the last month of your life, that's a whole lot less tragic than losing everything. And his model, you're losing everything if Google goes a little haywire. That's something to keep in mind there. And so let's go ahead and jump back over and look at his next part, which is starting at 11:53, I think.
before just forwarding all of my Gmail emails to my Apple account, and that's what this is. I practice inbox zero.
All right. So he's talking here about his emails. He's forwarding all of his emails over to his Apple Mail, and he practices what is called inbox zero. So inbox zero is something I personally don't practice. Inbox zero is when you always shoot to have your inbox at nothing. I don't do this because for me, saving all of those archives of email, and by the way, his emails are saved. He just moves them from his inbox into his archive where you can find and search them. So it's kind of the same thing, but the archive then becomes a hot and happy mess as well. I go through and I delete any completely unimportant emails. I clear out all of the emails in my system after about 6 months to a year's time is good. I'll delete everything in the archive. I don't need archives going back that long in most instances. Now what he's doing is he's using his cloud-based emails. Again, I don't like cloud-based emails. I don't want my emails run and managed by other people. That's why I buy servers and I use those servers. So that's kind of what I do with that. Let's talk real briefly about, we'll talk real briefly here about the servers. Why would I buy a server from somebody to host Nextcloud on it rather than just use a server that's already set up for that purpose? Well, the reason is when you have an instance like Nextcloud built on in a server that I've purchased from somebody, that server is a general purpose server. They're not tapping in any of the data that they have. In theory, some of them could. I know that my servers where I have mine at, they can't access them because I have taken root access of my servers. If they need to get in there and do something, they need to request the password from me. On top of that, your Nextcloud is end-to-end encrypted. And that's very important in that you have that encryption going on that even if they can access the files or the database, they still can't see what's in there. I know, I tried. I downloaded a copy of the thing to see if I can make any sense of it, and it's good. It's well encrypted. And so Nextcloud is a great way to go, and I would put it on a hosting account because the hosting account gives you, first is it gives you a place to manage your emails. It gives you a place to build your Nextcloud install, maybe throw up a website, maybe throw up, I talked about before, having a personal family-only social media site. All of this is stuff you can do with your own servers. And so, of course, who do I use for servers? I actually have been working on getting affiliate links, and so now I have some affiliate links for some hosting companies. So let me walk you through a couple of good accounts, and then I'm going to put, right after the video's done, I'm going to go ahead and put the affiliate links for these in the links below. So I'm going to talk about 3 different options. Now, when I went into getting the affiliate links, I didn't just get affiliate links for groups that were like, hey, these guys pay well, let's just spam everybody with tons of affiliate links. I only went with companies that either I have used or have very high reputation, like HostGator, Bluehost. These are all EIG companies. They have good payouts for affiliate links, but they're horrible services. I wouldn't send anybody to those. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the 3 that I have affiliate links for, and I'll put those affiliate links down in the description as soon as we're done with this. All right. So the first is A2 Hosting. I like A2 Hosting overall. I've been very happy with them. I host a VPS over there where I run all of my client servers, all of their email addresses. I have my main Nextcloud install over there. There are a lot of different things I have running on these. Of course, most guys are going to get you, a really good starting price, and then the regular prices go up. If you're kind of not need a lot of server space, getting one of these VPSs is good. Of course, they are costly, so you need to determine if that's worth it for you. For me, it is, because I host about 30 or 40 people's websites, and their business pays for my server space. I don't have to go out of pocket. If you're just doing a single family or a single person, you might think about doing a shared one with a dedicated IP. You want that dedicated IP because if you're doing it for email, you want to be able to whitelist your IP address. You don't want anybody else using your IP address. And so using their basic plan is going to be enough for getting a single family site running. And so if you click on the full details down here, you'll see that you can get, this gets one website, 5 databases. So you could run a Nextcloud build. Not sure where's your emails at. Okay, so there's 25 different email addresses up there. So that's pretty good. Physical memory, 1/2 gig, which is not bad for running just a basic family instance of Nextcloud with some email. That won't give you any issues. Like I said, like some of this stuff I wouldn't buy, but I would probably pick up a dedicated IP address, which is an extra $2 a month. So that's kind of one of the places that I would go. Another place that we've used with a lot of our clients was SiteGround. SiteGround they have your share, they have hosted, they have dedicated. These plans here were the first ones that I used regularly that supported your Let's Encrypt. By the way, all of these, well, at least these two support Let's Encrypt SSLs, which is great. No, I don't want to do that button yet. Just want to see what else we have. So you'll see they have the free SSLs, which are through Let's Encrypt. These ones here are probably a little bit, these ones might actually be a little bit better than the A2 for the shared hosting. We had a lot of great success with the company. Their prices of their VPSs was quite a bit more, and that's why I went with A2. The last one I picked out is InMotion, which I have not used InMotion, but there's a lot of reputable people I know that have, and they're not an EIG company. And so you can pick up a variety of these, and yeah, these do have free SSLs. I think I went with only servers that had free SSLs. So I will have affiliate links for these down below. If you want to check out one of these 3 hosting companies, check out the links down below. I use them. They're great instances. And like I said, using one of these with a Nextcloud build, you're not going to go wrong. Having your email, having your Nextcloud, and then syncing everything up to there, that's a great way to go. So let me know what you think on digital minimalizing in the comments down below. Check out those affiliate links for any information there. And I'm going to jump off here, and we're going to go back and have a look at the comments because I'm recording this show live. All right, let's have a look at our comments. Wow, you guys have been busy. All right. Pull a clean one online, run virus tool. Hello, Anna Rita. How are you? Make the chat more like your channel theme. Ooh, that sounds like a... I love that idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Duh. I think a lot of it is... I went with the black and the white, but you need to have different colors for the different types of users so you can spot who's who. But yeah, I'll look at what I can do with that. Oh, and by the way, I did look. I could not embed. I could not embed the fonts. At least I'll look at if I can embed the fonts that I use. That would be neat. But yeah, that sounds good. Eat my dinner now. Watching Tom while the wife washes dishes. Well, you should go helping. Okay. On Chromium, it works for now. All right. Easy grab BIOS. Let's see. I'm making an Arch Linux install script. It's actually done now. Mind trying it soon? Yeah. Shoot me an email, and I will give it my best shot. See what I can do with it. I think FreeNAS may support ZFS. Not sure. FreeNAS is good. I went with Open Media Vault for my NAS because it's based on Debian, and I like Debian. If you want to have a dark theme for your chat, use YouTube dark mode, which I use because it's easier for my eyes. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a look at it. Untested Arch installer, testing on my other PC. Really good at using OBS. Your streams are looking great. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I've definitely improved in my OBS usage over the years. That's for sure. Also watch the video before. Great video. All right. Humble opinion, anything but a Mayan motherboard from a PC manufacturer like Dell Technologies, AS Rock, even Lenovo, formerly IBM, small. Wait. Guy's using Crapple. Yeah, he's using Crapple, but he has a great video anyway. I did enjoy his video. Rossman's video turned me off Apple as an option. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like there was a time Apple was good for its high price. Now it's just as good as a cheap $300 computer from Best Buy in quality. It just, you know, costs 10 times as much. Richard M. Stallman is your favorite. Very good, very good. Arch installers, 450 untested lines of code. This is harsh. Do I want to try it? Team Win Recover. Thank you. I thought it was something with Team Win something. But yeah, Twerp is an awesome application for a bootloader. That model is very cute because it's tiny, the smallest footprint. Okay. Minimalism is also about leading a much less stressed life because we do not have a ton of crap we do not need and just have as much as such as family photos and the rest can go bye-bye. Yeah, I got rid of an entire garbage bag full of photos. It was crazy. Okay. Found I can open an exe file with my archive manager. Huh. Problem is you can only flash BIOS from within Windows. So try to boot Windows from optical somehow. Nextcloud confuses me. I just need to cut time out of my day to learn. I'm used to cPanel and using a web-hosted server through cPanel, but really, Mark? Yeah, shoot me a call. Actually, Mark, if you send me an email, we can get on my chat and I can walk you through some of it. I find it to be pretty easy, but specifically if you have a cPanel account, there is a cPanel install script. It's awesome. Works beautifully. Well, Mark, if it's installing it, just go to Nextcloud's site and grab the cPanel installer. It's one script. Add it to your server. Just upload that one file to your server, and then click on that file, and it'll load itself. Create folders and subfolders for your bookmarks. Yep. Love Nextcloud. Run an instance for friends and family. Worth learning. Yep. Absolutely. I love my Nextcloud build. Just so many useful applications. The cat was spotted. Y'all want to spot the cat again? Cat spotting. Gonna reboot. All right. Okay. Gates, Baum, Microsoft, Tim Cook, Steve Jones, Amazon, Bezos of all the business of converting loyal customers into their products. Yes. That's why I'm not a huge fan. Yeah, I'm shaking a hard drive around. It's broken. That hard drive is dead. Just needs to back up his image file and keep an updated copy of a VirtualBox. Okay, yeah. Storing these extra drives in your home or an offsite location. The ones that are stored, that's a great question. The ones that are stored in my house are in a safe. The ones that are not stored in a house are in a safety deposit box. Looks like the kitty cam's going crazy. Let's come back to this cam. Kitty cam seems to be going a little crazy. Yeah, I was talking to you. At least 3 drives. Go to date for backup. Keep 2 at home with updates and 1 off site. Then you can take one of the 2 drives and swap them off site. Yep. And that's what big companies do. You know, the execs will take oftentimes a tape backup of all the servers home with them. They're encrypted. That's best. I don't encrypt my ones with like my music and whatnot on them, but I do encrypt the ones with the personal data. Just delete the old YouTube videos because they are old, but that's just me. And if you make money off YouTube, maybe not delete your videos 5 years old. I just delete. I don't know. Say the problem first. I can't see what you're doing, so I can't help, but I trust you can do it. Other people's services, like high risk of going from digital minimalism to digitally destitute should those services go out. That is exactly my concern. I love the guy's video. I love what he's teaching, but holy crap is he scaring me. He is scaring me. Really doubt Google would be that harsh service that flops, though. Well, the thing is, though, Scott, remember last summer, midstream, Eli the computer guy, 1 million subs, just talking family-friendly Eli type stuff, and all of a sudden his channel was deleted. It's kind of scary. Always delete emails after respond to them or reply back if I needed. If I needed to read more, there's a need, then bye-bye email. I check emails every day, and every day I delete them ASAP. Yeah, it looks like my kitty cam camera is starting to die. I might have to get a new one of those. You have a good known word copy of the state, like disk image of the VM. If it's deleted, you have to rebuild. Windows 10 installs faster on VM than real hardware. Yeah. Switch to Linux. Can you make a future video how to encrypt a drive and make it completely unhackable? Mars, it actually depends on the distro. But the distros for like Linux Mint that I use, it's an option in the installer. Would you like to encrypt this disk? Yes. You set a password in that screen, and then before the operating system can even boot, you have to enter the encryption key. See you, Isaiah. All right. If power goes down during flashing, it's bad. Yes. A2 doesn't allow you to run Nextcloud instance on shared hosting, I inquired. I'm pretty sure you could. Is that true? It's all Nextcloud takes to run is a database and a server. That's interesting. What were you trying, like, I'm confused by that. Because what I'm running my Nextcloud on at A2 shouldn't be any different, really. The only things you couldn't do, you couldn't install code, you couldn't install a stun server, so you couldn't get the teleconferencing and the Google Docs type function to work, but everything else should work just fine. Huh, interesting though, that's neat. This doesn't work. Windows is going to be my laptop instead of my refurbished one. Huh. Font looks bigger for the chat. Yes, I bumped the font up a little bit. Titwana, email free and emails auto self-destruct after 5 days. What is this, Inspector Gadget? This message will self-destruct. Last time I learned how to get a top bar in CSS that hides when you scroll. Cool. Very good. Do you ever look at my fan art I sent through email? If you want to reply, I changed my email. It's the same email. Okay. Yeah, I looked at it and yeah, I looked at it, but it was kind of a crazy, confusing day, and I haven't looked at it since. My apologies. Yeah, it was a crazy day when I looked at it. I'll have to look at it again though. Anime Tom goes with CJ and TJ. Is that kind of fan? No, it was a different logo. The logo with the Ubuntu font. Works and runs only one simple command, so just download an Arch ISO image, burn it to USB, run one simple command, and it works. Okay. Sorry, pizza's flashing a BIOS during your live. That's fine. Pizza. I ate pizza today. On the cannibal. It was good. Omar, how's it going, Omar? Greetings. Joe, how are you? BIOS can be flashed from a USB on most motherboards. Yeah, I think mine allows me to. What happens when you shake a hard drive? It depends on the hard drive. One like this, you know. But it's a dead hard drive. So. Gonna minimize my digital life. I already did only using Linux instead of Windows. Kitty's being nosy Nelly neighbor. Yeah. Easier to install Windows, not activate it. Flash your BIOS and then go on with Linux. Shake mechanical hard drive can damage the pliers inside. Never shake them if possible. Yeah. Yeah, this one's just waiting to be destroyed. Windows 10 is installed in the background, and Cortana scared the crap out of me with, "Hi, I'm Cortana. I now own your soul." Wife says I scare her when I do a cleanup every 3 months on her 2 laptops. She's always there to check me, and then make sure I don't go crazy deleting stuff. Spin Viking, greetings. I should clarify my last comment. You can flash BIOS from a USB on most modern motherboards as they are operating systems in and of themselves. So piping a curl through bash runs it in SH for some reason. Update it, make it a tiny bit longer. Mess with display link much. Seems like it's a rendering video, software and stuff hardware. I have not. Sneak into your house and steal your leftover pizza. Sorry, pizza. Yesterday, or was it earlier this week, I made 2 small pizzas because if I make 1 full pizza, I will eat the whole thing. So I made two small pizzas. I froze one and I cooked the other. So that's kind of what I'm doing there. So. All right, well, I reached the bottom of the comments. Let's see if there's anything else to do. I'm still pondering over that A2 hosting and Nextcloud thing. That just seems weird to me. Mark, are you still on? What did you ask? Did they know what you were talking about? Are they aware that there is a shared server hosting script from Nextcloud that will allow you to do that? Let's see. Let me go to their install. Okay. So if you go to the Nextcloud page and hit the download, over here is a script. You simply right-click it, download this, just upload this script right here into your server. You need to create a database. Running this will get you Nextcloud running. I mean, I can't imagine why this wouldn't run. That's odd to me, but I imagine it should work just fine. I thought. I don't know. I'm not a minimalist. Why do the profile pictures look messed up? Well, they're styled to have an arch on the top and a square on the bottom. So they're kind of designed that way. That's how I designed them to be. Mentioned you use pfSense box. Did you build or buy it pre-built? I built that. I actually have a video about how I built that. There's a video on that, I don't know, 6 months or so ago. Yeah, mine's built into a Fitlit PC, which is a quad-core. I think that one's running 6 gigs of RAM, 250 gigabyte SSD. I have the external heatsink on the top. There's 2 different LAN cards in it. So one of them has 3 ports, one of them has 1 port. So, of course, I used the 1-port LAN card to bring the internet in for the WAN. I used the other 3 to go out, and then I connect that out to a gigabit switch with 8 ports. It's an 8-port gigabit switch is what I use for that. So, yeah, that was built. The way Linux has evolved, it's a FOSS up on which distro is better. See what I did there? That's a FOSS up. Nice. Yes, it's very clear with them. They also point me to the terms of service. What about their terms of service? I am genuinely curious about this. I might have to call them up. But what is in their terms of service that restricts you from using a cloud service? I've read it, of course, and I don't remember anything about that. I don't know. I'm flipping through the terms of service. I don't see anything on that. That's very fascinating. Yeah, sad error. Shoot me an email. I'll have a look at it when I can. You know where your email address is. Can you just send it to me on the about page on YouTube? Just send it as a PM. Considering A2 hosting, but I'm not sure how secure shared hosting actually is. Yeah, I mean there's always inherent risks with it. I do know that they keep their servers pretty up to date. It's not like my HostGator servers are running like PHP and MySQL versions back 4 versions too old. They do keep things up to date. As far as like a Nextcloud build, it's encrypted. Double check with them, like what Mark says. I mean, I can't imagine why you couldn't build a Nextcloud on that, but double check with them on that before you would use that. Let's see, for shared, here's some things you may not include. Management of very large photo galleries, streaming content, storage of large amounts of uncompressed full-size digital images, online file serving, distribution of large audio content, online backups. Maybe that's what they're talking about, but I'm not imagining using a Nextcloud instance in that case. If that were the case, you know, just get yourself a cheap computer and build a server of your own. I don't know. I don't see this terms and conditions violating a Nextcloud build. I don't know. That's interesting though. Messing ADHD and Asperger's stress. Actually, it should make it, though, better down the road. Yeah, the shared hosting is cheaper for a reason. If you want the absolute best, you want to go with a VPS or something more than that. The other good place to run this would probably be an AWS account. AWS would be good because you can do a lot more things with it and you pretty much only pay for the use, which basically means you could get probably a better instance for a little bit cheaper. It's just AWS is a whole lot harder to set up. Sad error. Use account services at switched2linux.com. Sir Tom, I'm being watched. Yeah, I am. There's a kitty over here with his eye on me, too. Right, kitty? I mean, if you want proof I'm being watched, there, right there is the proof I'm being watched. Right there. He's looking right at me. Cloud, you have the logo, the pizza... Yeah, I'll have a look at the logo if I can. Ubuntu is available in the Windows Store. Yes, actually, I think Fedora should be there too. Come on, kitty. It's a cat spotting. It's a cat spotting. All right, I think we're going to wrap this up in about 5 to 10 minutes or so. So we'll keep going as long as there's comments. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up soon. And I got a fuzzy snake. It's a fuzzy snake. It's cat sighting. 74 people. Yep. There's a troll comment. Hi, Zesa. Feed the troll, everybody. Feed the troll. It works. It works. It's thumbs up if you haven't thumbs up. Thank you much. Okay, shared hosting is not designed to store large amount of files, is what they said. Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're getting at. That's where all these servers, like, we have unlimited server space, but you can only have a certain number of nodes. So that's actually what they're talking about here. The file spaces, although these things say that they're unlimited, there's actually is a limit, because guess what? They don't have unlimited hard drive space. So yeah, if you're backing up tons and tons and tons of files, you want to use a different thing other than a shared service. What I use my Nextcloud for, a shared service would be just fine. But yeah, okay, you are right in that respect. I can see where they're coming from. Microsoft says you're not allowed to fix anything in Windows. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Dean Myers, greetings. I've had my email blacklisted several times on A2 hosting. Never got a reason why, but several clients could not either email or receive from me. Yeah, on a shared, that's why I don't like shared servers for hosting your own email. I really like the VPSs or something with a dedicated IP. Because what happens is on a shared server is if a scammer uses that to send email and it's marked as scammy or blacklisty, then it will blacklist. But if you have a dedicated IP, every server provider out there, you can say, this is my IP, and they'll whitelist it. As long as, of course, they don't have anything exactly from your server. I had to go through and whitelist everything from A2, and you get that with every hosting company offers shared servers, unfortunately. It's a little thing, but it's actually easy to fix. T-Mobile said unencrypted passwords are safe. Yep. Richard Addison gave up on HP a long time ago. Yep, I did too. Should I make a custom ISO for Arch, which runs ArchKick for you? Which one's ArchKick? What degrees do I have? I have a bachelor's in industrial biochemistry and a PhD in integrative biological sciences with an emphasis in molecular toxicology. End up going with DigitalOcean. Yes, DigitalOcean's good. Actually, I mean, I could drop an affiliate link for DigitalOcean too. I have one of those also. How's that work? Is that working for you, Mark? Need a drone cam, you do. Yes. Pay €750 a month for VPS with 2 terabytes drive. Oh, that's a good price. That's a really good price. Where? So far, so good. All right. Thumbs up for the cutie. Thumbs up for me, people. Thumbs up for me. See, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Oh, boy. Looks like I missed you guys the other day on the stream. Should I turn my old computer into a Debian server? Sure. Absolutely. Sounds fun. My wife asked me to ask you what's your astrological sign. That is private info I do not divulge. Dells run Great Linux. That is, well, actually, Noah, that is, they made it a lot easier. It was an infinitely more confusing. It was, when I started, I think it was called Cellular and Molecular Mechanisms of Toxicity. And we all signed off to call it molecular toxicology instead. Because, yeah, whole lot. All right, we're going to go ahead and feed the kitty. And then we will wrap this up shortly after. So this will be the final call for comments. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Whisker treats are from Saddle Ridge, actually. We got the Whisker Lickins, salmon flavors. I'll tell you what, I should ask this, I should have this company sponsor me, I'm telling you. Look at this darling creature here, look at this. What cat food company would not want to sponsor this cat? Oh, are they whisker looking good? Yeah, they are. They're whisker looking good. They are whisker looking good. Oh, righty. Arch kick. Oh, okay. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it, man. So far, so good. No issues, and I'm installing the base system with it. There you go. All right. Most of my data is in my head, so I don't have excessive storage needs. Even has options to install a desktop environment. What environments do you have? Actually, just, yeah, I'll get a copy of it and see what I think. Why it says you might be a Virgo. I might be. Kitty. Oh, he's a kitty. He's looking at me. He's like, what? Like to see that Arch installer, particularly how partitions are handled. Cool. Isn't the other channel, but could you please say a prayer for my cousin's baby Oliver? Yes, I will, Keegan. I will do that. All right, folks. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Sad error. Did you get my email? It's I think it's account services at switched2linux.com. Go ahead and email me there. All right, and I think the kitty's going to say, bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Once again, if you'd like to help support the channel, the main support page is at switch2linux.com/support. There's all the primary ways to help support us over there. You can pick up something like a really cool mouse pad like this. I even have this little creature right here on some t-shirts. You can get those at shop.switch2linux.com, and I am on Patreon, patreon.com/TomM. Probably in a couple of weeks, I will be launching out the new support site, so we'll see what happens there. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful evening, and I should be back online. Most likely, I'll be streaming something tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. So we'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, and enjoy switching to Linux.